Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another testing settings video. Today we're going to test my theory on putting your fuel usage set to high gives you the most realistic fuel burn. Um, if you want to know more about my settings and the way I come up with all of this, you can go back and watch the video about the time scale. I explain all my settings and how I figure everything out with the 10x. But today we're going to test the fuel usage, and we are going to do it with one of the Deutz-Fahr's, the Agrostar 831s. Just quick information and conversion I did on that tractor. In game is 367 liters of fuel, which converts to 97 gallons. Everything I could find on that tractor says that it should burn somewhere between 9 and 11 gallons an hour when you're working. So the way I have the test set up today with the time scale, we should burn somewhere around 20 gallons of diesel. We are also gonna sidebar test a different time scale just to see if the way I figure the time scale on 10x to see if it works across all time scales. Again, if you are kind of lost, go back, watch my time scale video and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But for this test, we are going to test the 2 times time scale, the 2x. So using my theory, the 2x time scale puts the field that we are going to test at 26 acres. So at 26 acres with this 13-foot seeder, the calculation says that we should be somewhere around 15 acres an hour to seed with this seeder. So if this field is translating to 26 acres, we should be just shy of 2 hours to seed this field. So that'll test the 2x time scale, and we should be somewhere around 20 gallons of fuel. I tried to do a breakdown on that already based on how the game does the little fuel graph. We should use somewhere around a quarter of a tank of fuel. So we are ready to go. I am going to come in here, set this to 2x to test that time scale. And I do have everything else turned off just for the test because all we are testing is the fuel. And I do have fuel usage set to high. So we are going to get the GPS set up. That looks good. We will turn on the seeder. Lower the seeder. I hit the wrong button. And we should be good to go. Oh, yes. So it is 11:59 in the morning. We will call it 12 o'clock. So we should be done with this around 2 p.m., maybe a little bit before. I will speed this up and zip through it so it's not cut, and I will be back with y'all shortly. Hey guys, one other thing I wanted to throw in real quick. In my other video, I talked about how the way I figure out the time scale versus size of fields and all of that, I said that it does not apply to the equipment that you're pulling. One thing I am trying to figure out how to test is if any of these time scale and resizing the fields for role play settings, if any of that, if there's a correlation to how much seed and fertilizer you use in the seeders. I don't know if there's a way to test that. I'm gonna work on it, but I am not testing seed or fertilizer usage today. I'm doing strictly fuel and just testing another time scale just to see if it converts. Just wanted to throw that in there real quick. Well, guys, I guess it's time for the farm sim trucker to admit that he was wrong. Sort of. I was sort of wrong, sort of right. And I'm going to throw up some screenshots right here to explain why. It may not be for the reasons y'all think. So as you can see here, we finished this first planting on the 2x time scale right at 1:30 in the afternoon. So it took us right at an hour and a half to plant this 26 acres, which if you do the hard math, 26 acres divided by 15.5 acres an hour comes out to 1.6 hours. So we were pretty spot on with that. I think that shows that my theory on whatever time scale you're using, use that same number, multiply your field sizes, the map size, all of that, that all works out. Now, this is just a zoomed in shot of that same screenshot you were looking at, just shows everything a little larger. And if you look down at the bottom, I went ahead and did the numbers on this just to see, even though I said I wasn't going to. We used 70% of the fertilizer, 75% of the seed, and we did use right at a quarter of a tank of fuel, or maybe a little more. So to me, that says that the fuel usage set to high on 2x time scale is accurate. It does show that for that size field, using the 2x, multiplying everything, it does look like the fuel usage there was correct. However, I went ahead and ran this test again on my 10x time scale just to see. I replanted the exact same field, did everything the exact same, except for I used the 10x time scale instead of the 2x. Well, if you can see, we finished the field at, so I made notes. I started this field at 11:45 in the morning, and we finished the field at 7:25 at night. My math said the field should have took about 8 hours. It actually took about 7.5. I think that's close enough. Here's where I was wrong. On the 10x time scale, we used the exact same amount of fertilizer, seed, and fuel as we did on the 2x time scale, which means that I was wrong. My settings are not the most realistic. They're actually not realistic enough. For this to be realistic, the fuel usage should follow the game time, not real time. But seed, fertilizer, fuel usage, and as far as I can tell, vehicle maintenance are all following game time, real time, not game time. So I was right and I was wrong. I was right on the timescale part. I was absolutely wrong on the fuel usage part, which actually makes me think I need to rethink the way I do my role plays, my videos, or my maps that I play for fun, because it is looking like the absolute most realistic settings are everything turned on with a 2x time scale, fuel usage set to high on 28 days. It is looking like that is the absolute most realistic. There is one more test that I'm going to run. It is going to be a harvest test to test bushels per acre, stuff like that. I've done some research, and I am going to test that and see if that is more close to realistic on 2x, 10x. Those are the numbers that I'm going to use, because at this point, there's no need to test anything in the middle, because anything over 2x, the fuel usage doesn't match up. So that shoots my theory out the water. So I was wrong. I admit it. Here's the video. Hope this helps. If you think I did something wrong, if you think I could try something different, absolutely drop me a comment. I'll be more than happy to test it. And be watching for the harvest test video coming out here hopefully soon. Y'all have a great day.